All right. Hopefully.
Our meat's for sale.
Welcome everyone to another episode of What the Hell You Gonna Eat Next Week. I'm Chris.
I'm Mason.
We got some nice stuff going out this week. Let's first do me a favor, hand me the Gatorade. I'm feeling a little parched. Water's from the toilet. This has got electrolytes. It's what plants crave. Oh. The first on the list is ooh. So I think we might advertise this last week. This right here is, these sunglasses are red on both sides and this is pink. I literally can't read this, but what I think this is a split bone-in chicken breast with the skin on. This is one of my favorite cuts. It stays more juicier than your boneless, skinless fillet. And we have a whole bunch of these daggone things because we cut up, how many pounds of meat did we cut up for Page County Public Schools this week, sir?
For this week alone, I believe we cut up 800 pounds for Page County School System.
I feel like we cut up a lot more than that, Mason. I feel like you're underselling yourself.
Well, we cut up probably double that. But I thought you meant for this week. It was a specific, you referenced this week.
I can't fire him because he's a partner.
I got tenure.
What is your favorite thing to do with a boneless, skinless chicken breast?
I like to put it in a cast iron, put a little salt and pepper on it.
All right. Anyhow, you go ahead and get you one of these. We have actually marked these on sale because we have too many of them. Go get you some of these because they're cheap-ish for now. Who's next? These are Korean short ribs. Unlike traditional short ribs, which are cut along the bone and give you a nice long bone, these are cut across the bone, which allows you to make what is traditionally made with these is, and I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of this, is bulkalbi, or kaibi, as I've heard it called by my Korean buddy who got thrown out of his house for only scoring in the 96th percentile of the SATs. That actually did happen. How would you cook it?
Well, personally, I like to put it in a cast iron, put a little salt and pepper on it.
All right. Hand me that there recipe real quick. We just show you the kinds of things you need. According to this here recipe that I pulled off the internet, which has never told a lie, it says you need 800 grams of meat. What is it, cocaine? Anyhow, the things you need, I ain't gonna read the whole recipe to you. It says you need soy sauce, Asian pear, dark brown sugar, rice wine, grated onion, minced garlic, ginger, black pepper. That's not that complicated ingredient. If you can't find an Asian pear because you live in a country like me and they racist about it.
I've got to take how's it going?
Good. All right, next we have beef stew meat. This might seem like it's not really stew weather, and it's definitely not. But the good news for you is that we have discounted our stew meat as well as, hand me that right there, as well as our fajita meat, so that you can make these, not necessarily hot weather specialties in hot weather on a budget. So check out the website, grab you some of these because they are on sale and will not be during stew season. Mason, how would you prepare these?
Well, with this one, I'd like to put it in a cast iron with a little salt and pepper on it. Let's see, with this one, I like to prepare it in a cast iron, put a little salt and pepper on it. Here.
Oh. All right. Right here we have a pair of pasture-raised chicken backs, or as we call them on the label, chicken frames. This is what is left over of the chicken after we've cut off the breast, the tenders, the legs, the neck is still on here, and the wings. Hand me its companion there.
It's fellow.
Is that a gender-neutral term, sir? Yeah. Just think about your sunglasses and how you look right now.
It's companion.
Okay, it's companion.
It's mate.
For the more adventurous among people who would like to make chicken stocks that are a little more thicker, you're going to want to take you some chicken feet because these are full of collagen that gives you a nice, thick, rich kind of chicken stock. But if you ain't into chicken feet, because they are a little crazy looking now, my grandmama used to put these in a pot upside down and just cook them in a friggin' boiling pot and eat them things like that was a thing to do. And she's crazy as hell. She's 157 years old, and that's what people like that do. But anyhow, you take one of these here, you put it in a stock pot with some water. Let's see, you do some celery. You do I forget what they call it in French, mirepoix or something like that. I think it's celery, carrots, and onions, I believe. You can put a little clove in there, a little bay leaf. What else I put in there? A little coriander maybe. But you can put in whatever you want. It's your stock. You do it how you want to do it. But anyway, these are super freaking cheap. It's like $1 a pound. It's the cheapest way to make stock if you don't want to just buy our pre-made, which we also have. But get some of these out of our freezers, because you can see how awkward these are. They take up a lot of room in our freezers. Do us a solid, get you some of these, make your own stock, have some fun, and that is that.
Would you like to know how I prepare backs?
You ain't gonna put no damn chicken backs and make salt and pepper on a cast iron skillet.
I do want to point out that collagen in those feet is fantastic for joints.
As in your joint health.
Joint health.
Yes, joint health, so you don't get all creaky elbows.
Yeah.
And you could be as big and strong and swole as Mason. See, watch. Anyhow, I just slapped his titty with a beef London broil. You know you want some. What the hell you do? Look, I ain't gonna lie. London broil, thin sliced and roasted. You can't see me close my eyes. I'm wearing sunglasses, but you want you some of this. How would you prepare it?
I personally would put this fine cut of meat in a cast iron, put a little salt and pepper on it.
I would probably braise it in a little red wine, or maybe some of our Brian G. White Chocolate Thunder patented classic beef stock, which is also for sale on our website. Me, myself, personally, would not put this on a cast iron skillet with a little bit of salt and pepper. That's going to be one of the toughest cuts of meat you would ever try to saw your butter knife through. If you're in the Richmond, Virginia area, the Roosevelt in Richmond has bought 50 pounds of these, and they're going to have something delicious if you don't feel like cooking it yourself. What is next on our list, Mr. Mason? A beef bottom round steak. So this one is a little more forgiving than the bottom round roast. Mason, how would you cook this?
Meat more forgiving than the London broil roast.
Yes.
You said more forgiving than the bottom round roast. I don't
The
wanna
beef bottom round roast is more forgiving than the London broil roast.
There we go.
Okay. How would you prepare the bottom round roast?
So
Or steak?
personally,
Steak.
I like to get a little bit more creative with this one. I would put it in a cast iron skillet and then put a little salt and pepper on it.
Actually, that's not a terrible idea. Again, I've talked about the Gordon Ramsay steak method, where he cuts at you a little bit, but then at the end of it, you know how to cook a steak. However, I would not cook this beyond. I wouldn't even cook this medium. I would cook it medium rare. So this actually makes a pretty decent steak if you're on a budget, especially if you're not into the New York or the ribeye. But yes, this actually is appropriate for a cast iron skillet with some salt and pepper, but you're gonna need some more on top of that. You're gonna need some more on top of that. But anyhow, we have a million of these. Please help us move them if you'd like to try a new budget-minded cut of steak. Yeah, rub it good. This is a whole entire pasture-raised chicken that probably came from your farm.
No, but actually, I believe this is one of Growmore's.
Okay, you know what? You're just gonna bust up my whole spiel.
Oh,
Because
this
you
is
could-
definitely one of my tornado
Totally
birds.
one of the tornado birds, and not a pasture-raised chicken from Growmore Farms, grown by the radical Jew who helps black people succeed. A whole entire bird that you could, my preferred method is to roast these. Sometimes I will fry the entire thing, but I prefer roasting for a whole bird. So I'll cut out the backbone so that it cooks a little more evenly. You'll put it in a roasting pan with maybe some lemon, some garlic, some rosemary, maybe some Italian seasoning. That's really all you need. For the most part, our whole chickens like this are female, so they have a little more fat around the skirt. That's one of the two ways you can tell what a female chicken is versus a male chicken when you're opening them up. One way is to look for the testicles that's inside. That's probably the most reliable way, is to look for testicles. But the other way is to look for a nice band of yellow, thick fat that's around the skirt, because only the female chickens have that. But in any case, you can cut this guy up, you can cut up and fry the pieces, you can do boneless bread, you can do whatever you want. There's lots of butchery videos that are on our YouTube account, so you can see how to cut up the chicken if you want to cut up the chicken, as well as spatchcock videos to see how to easily remove the backbone so you can spread them out and have them cook nice and evenly. How would you prepare the whole entire chicken?
We'll see, with one of these, being a larger cut of meat, I would put it in a cast iron skillet, put a little salt and pepper on it.
I hate you so much.